Today on Arts for Life Virtual Studio, we'll be making a one-page accordion gratitude booklet. So stay tuned. I'll let you know what supplies we need and how to make this really awesome book. Hi everyone, my name's Kelsey. I'm the inpatient coordinator at Brenner's Children's Hospital. Welcome to our virtual studio where we believe that art is for everyone. Today we'll be making this really awesome gratitude booklet. What I really love about this book is the pages are just made with one piece of paper and you can open it from 3 different ways. So this is the front of my book, and I filled this book with things I'm grateful for. And so you can open it like a regular book, where you turn it, and I chose big words on this book and big pictures. I wanted it to be really comfortable. And then I get to the back, and I also decorated the back cover, because when you get to the back you can turn it and open it this way. And so it's like a second book. And then when you get to the end of that, you can turn it and open it from the top. So kind of like a 3-in-1. And it's really simple to make. All you're gonna need is a piece of paper, 2 pieces of paper. For my first book, I used watercolor paper because I wanted to decorate with watercolor paper, so use whatever you want to decorate with. You can use printer paper. White paper works good for decorating and writing, but construction paper would work, a lighter color, or you could decorate it with gel pens and use black paper. You also need some kind of stiffer, thin cardboard to make covers. So this is actually a graham cracker box. You could use a cereal box, anything like that. You'll need some scissors, a pencil, and a glue stick, and then you can also add string if you want to tie your book closed. You can use ribbon, yarn, anything like that would work. All right, well, gather your supplies and let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with just one piece of paper. And it's nice to have either a table or some kind of hard surface to work on, a clipboard if you're laying in a bed, or sitting at a table, because the first thing we're going to do is fold our paper in half. So when I fold papers in half, I like to have one hand on one side and then fold the other edge to meet this edge. And then I kind of just scoot this hand over, holding the paper in place, and then put it on top once I get my edges lined up. And then I'm going to take my finger and just slide it down the middle, and go down, and then up. Sometimes it's kind of hard on your fingertips to do a lot of folding. In art, you really want to make a good crease whenever you fold, so I like to take anything with a flat bottom. I'm going to use my glue stick because I have it, but really anything, even like a pencil would work, and do half my glue stick on the table and half on the paper and just go up and down. It kind of makes a nice flat fold for us. And then I'll open that back up. I'm going to have a fold down the middle now, and I'm going to fold it in half the other way, so long end to long end. Again, I'm going to hold this edge so it's not moving on me, fold this up, hold it in place, go down the middle one way, and then the other, and then make that nice and crisp edge. Having crisp folds just makes the steps for later easier. And if yours gets a little off when you're folding, don't worry, it will still work as a book. The next thing I'm going to do after I have my 2 folds, making like a plus sign in the middle of my paper, is I'm going to fold the short end into the middle. So I'm going to hold my paper down and then fold it into the middle. I'm going to hold it in place in the middle once I get it where I want it, and kind of just crease it down. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold it to the middle. I'm going to leave a little gap, and then crease it down. have all the folds that I'm going to do for now. And I'm going to open it back up and lay it flat. So it might be a little hard to see on this video, but now I have 8 sections. I have 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw this in a pencil for you so you can see, but you don't have to do this pencil step, it's just maybe so you can see it better, is I'm going to cut down that middle fold 3 sections in, but I'm not going to cut here. So just cut here, 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 and then stop. Once you get to this 4th section, you don't want to cut that. I'll get my scissors out and just cut straight across. You're cutting on the middle fold right until you reach that end. So now you have your paper and it has that cut in there. And you're going to do an accordion fold, which is, if you've ever seen anybody play the accordion instrument, they go in and out, and there's all these folds in between. So we're going to fold our paper like those folds. We're going to fold front, back, front, back. So I'm going to fold this forwards, and then I'm going to fold it backwards. Then I'm going to fold it forwards, and I'm going to flip it backwards. Once I get to that end, I'm going to fold it forwards, backwards, forwards. And then I have a nice, neat little booklet that I folded out of one piece of paper, which is, I think, kind of magical. I love anything that you can do with one piece of paper, and I already kind of have a little book. I'm going to open that up and just show you one more time, to make sure we got it. So I take this, and you're folding it on the folds you already made. So I fold it backwards and forwards and backwards. Then I got to the end, I'm going to fold it forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. So you just do it opposite. So I have my nice little book. So now I want to make covers for my book. So I have, like in my example here, it's nice and sturdy and will hold up. So I'm going to take my thin cardboard, if you used a cereal box or whatever you're using, an old like folder would work or something, pasta box, whatever you have around. And I'm going to lay this so that the corner is facing, in line with the corner with a little edge, because you want your cover just to be a little bit bigger than your book. So I'm going to line it up here, and then I'm going to draw a line with my pencil around my booklet. It doesn't actually matter how much bigger you make it than your book, you just want it a little bigger. I'm doing it about 1/4 of an inch, give or take. You can guesstimate on this part. If you are a perfectionist, you may use a ruler and get really nice lines, but you don't have to. Artist's choice. It's one of my favorite things about art, is that everybody's process will look a little bit different. So I have my lines, and the reason that I line up my booklet with this corner is so I only have to make 2 cuts instead of 4. So if you put it in the middle, then you have to make more cuts, and that's more work. Nobody wants that. So I'm going to cut this out. And then I'm going to trace it, because you're going to need a front cover and a back cover. And again, I'm going to trace it on a corner, so I only have to make 2 cuts, because I'm not trying to do extra work here. Alright, there we go, and I will cut that out. Perfect. Now I have my 2 covers. So got a little extra right there. So now I have these covers that aren't looking that cute. If you have like a favorite cereal and you ended up cutting your book cover out of your favorite cereal and you turn it over and you think, wow, that cover looks really cool, it's showing my colorful cereal that I love, you could just use that right on your book. But I'm not loving this, so I want to make a cover for my thin cardboard. So I'm going to take my other piece of paper I have, And I'm going to do the same thing that I did tracing for the cardboard. I'm going to lay it on top in the corner, and I'm going to make it a little bit, give it a little bit, borders a little bit more room. And I'm going to kind of trace it around. And these lines you won't see, so don't worry about them. You want a little bit bigger room, but you're going to fold it under, and then at the end of your book, you won't even ever see these lines, so you can see that's not really a straight line at all. Don't worry, it's fine. And then I'm going to cut out that. Now, Arts for Life, we talk about gratitude a lot, and we think it's so important to remember, especially when you're having hard times, if you're spending more time in the hospital or having to get pokes, to really remember what you're thankful for. It really, I think, makes your days a little bit brighter and better. So that's why I wanted to do a gratitude book. So I'm just going to trace this paper because I need a cover from the front and the back of my book. And again, I use the corner, so I only have to cut twice. So sometimes when I'm having a hard day, if I can sit and look at things that I'm grateful for or think about things that I'm grateful for, it makes it a little less hard. So I really appreciate that. All right, so now we have our covers for our cover. A little confusing. So I'm just going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue around the edges. Make sure you always get the edges when you're gluing things. And then I just scribble in the middle. I'm going to flip it over, glue side down in the middle-ish of your paper. It's okay if that's not perfectly centered, but you want white paper or whatever color paper you're using for your cover around all four sides. I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Glue. And since this is a little bit thicker, if you're using a glue stick, you want to put a good amount of glue. If you're using liquid glue, you can just kind of go around the edges, and you don't want to put too much or else it will all squirt out. I usually get pretty messy when I make art, so glue sticks are a little bit neater for me. Alright, so now we have our front cover and back cover, or since this page you can open their book from either way. They're both front covers, I guess. So I'm going to cut out the corners so that there's not extra paper when I fold this over. So I just want to cut out here and here. So you're just cutting a little square in each corner. Again, another thing, this doesn't have to be straight or anything. You just want to cut out a corner. So you can draw it like this if you like lines to follow when you're cutting, but you don't have to. You could also just take it like this and cut towards the middle and towards here. So you just want to do that on all 8 of your corners. See how I cut that one a little crooked? That is totally fine. I'm gonna finish cutting those. Sometimes when I'm doing something like cutting or coloring or something, I even like to just think about what I'm grateful for. Think about the pretty birds chirping outside that I can hear through my window, or oops, dropped that one. Just anything like that, and it just makes me smile. All right, so we have, looks like that. This side looks like that. I like to fold these in, make a crease before I put glue because I think it's a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna crease these over and kind of press my finger just to make a crease. And the thin cardboard makes like a good line for you to fold over on. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry about your straight lines or anything because the cardboard is blocking your paper from folding any farther. So I do this before I glue because it makes it a little less messy. I'll just take my glue stick again and I'm going to rub it on this edge and fold it in. Now it does not matter if you fold the long ends first or the short ends first. You can do it in a random order. Whatever will work. I did my long ends first on this one and then my shorter ends. And whenever I'm gluing something, especially if it's folded and it might not stick, is I want to rub it for a few seconds or put a little bit of pressure on it. If your hands aren't feeling particularly strong today, you can particularly, ooh, I said that word funny, you can get like a book or something and just press it to make sure that your glue's sticking. If you're using liquid glue, and as long as there's not any glue sticking out the sides, you can just lay like something that's a little heavier on top of this, anything that's on your table, to just hold it in place. If there's glue sticking out the side though, you might glue your cover to whatever you lay on top of it. So make sure there's not extra glue. You don't want to glue your art project to a book or something. That'd be silly. Oh, see, I didn't rub this one long enough and it's popping up. No need to be in a hurry with art. Just gotta enjoy the process. So glue these sides down. See, on this one I'm going in a random order. So get these on down. That one's still popping up. Whenever I do anything, there's always one side that likes to give me trouble. So I'm just going to press that down a little bit. All right, so now I have two covers and they're nice and sturdy, which is awesome. And I have my book. So I just want to add some string. And again, this could be ribbon. If you used anything really thick, like a thick yarn or a like thick ribbon, or if you actually use like glitter ribbon, you probably need stronger glue than a glue stick, like tacky glue or something. I think like glitter ribbon would probably, a glue stick might not hold it that well. But you could try it and let us know if it worked. So I'm going to turn these covers over to the back. And then, look, that one's still giving me trouble. Okay. And then I want to cut my string. And I'm just going to leave a little bit on both sides hanging off. And it is better to leave it longer than shorter because you can always trim them, but you can't make them longer unless you're a superhero, which is awesome if you are. I would love to know that. I unfortunately do not have powers to make things grow, so I cut these pretty long. You need 2 of them, and you're just going to take some glue and rub it right in the middle of your book cover. I'll do it on both sides. If you, again, liquid glue, just do a thin line right down the middle, and then kind of lay this somewhere in the middle. I'm going to end up trimming it. You might get a little sticky fingers, but just press that a little bit into it. We're going to press it down some more in just a second. So if it's just laying on there, if you do not like sticky fingers, don't worry. You can just lay it on there so it's not moving. So awesome. I have my covers with my string, and now I'm going to take my book pages right here, and I'm going to just put glue all over the top. And there is no top or bottom, so the end of one of the sides of your accordion fold page, you can just put glue and make sure you're getting all the edges and then kind of in the middle, lots of glue. And I'm going to flip that glue side down right on top of one of the covers. So I'm going to try to center it and see how that covered up all those edges That's what I was saying, that you'll never see those edges that you cut earlier, so no problem. All right, I'm just gonna rub it a little bit because I don't want my book falling apart. And then I have my string. It's secured in between my pages and my cover. And then I'll put glue on this top again of my book. And glue it all over, get the edges in the middle. And then I'm going to take my second cover and I'm just going to lay it right on top. I'm going to make sure my strings don't get tucked under there. And lay it on top so it kind of makes a sandwich. And we've got a cover, a pages, and a cover. Not an edible sandwich. But if you love sandwiches, that might be something good to put in your gratitude book. All right. So now I have my strings. These are like pretty long. You want them long enough that you can tie them. I usually tie them like I tie my shoe with 2 bows and tails, and that makes it pretty easy to untie. If you wanted this to be a secret gratitude journal, you could tie it in a super secret knot that only you know how to untie, but you want it long enough that you can tie. I'm just going to trim them so they're even-ish. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so now you have your gratitude book, and really from here you can do whatever you want. For this, I took a Sharpie because that will not bleed when you watercolor on top of it, and I wrote gratitude nice and big and bold. And then if I turn to my first page, this is my dog Harper, and I'm very grateful for him. So I kind of chose to do big words and big pictures because I wanted it to be really colorful. And this one, I think I might just decorate my cover with pictures and not do any words. And then I'm going to treat it more like a journal. So I'm going to open it to the first page, and I think on each page I'm going to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for every day. I'm going to start right here today with you. So today I am grateful for time to make art, because I always appreciate setting some time apart to make art. I think that's really important. I am grateful for technology to share this art project with you. It's pretty awesome that we can get together and share even though we can't be together right now. And I am really grateful for all my friends working over at Brenner Children's Hospital, caring for all the patients and families that have to be in the hospital right now or go to appointments. They are awesome, and I am missing them, and I am very thankful for them. So, that's a book, and I think tomorrow I'll write down 3 more things, and then I can keep doing that. Again, you should fill your book with whatever makes you happy. These also make really nice presents. You could fill each page with something you're grateful for about a specific person. You could make one for your nurses and fill it with things you're grateful for about your nursing team or your healthcare team. You could make one for your family member, or you could keep it for yourself. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Arts for Life's virtual studio. Here's my finished gratitude booklet. Everyone's probably looks a little different, but I think that's what makes art so exciting. I'd love to see a picture of your gratitude booklet if you want to post it in the comments, and I'd also love to hear what you're really grateful for these days. So feel free to just post what you're grateful for in the comments. If you post a picture of your book, tag us so we can see it. And remember, art is for everyone.